I can feel the bullets like, I am scared. And I've just heard a voice go, look to your left, there's a kid in the road with a Mac-10 machine gun. And then went, every time I've gone to jail, something big's happened. And I'll never forget, my mum just went, Gary's dead.
3 jailed over fatal robbery in Old Trafford. Gary Mullings, 30, of New Moston, was fatally stabbed.
But it's just facts, he did kill someone. It brings fear, it makes people not want to mess with you or your family because you're known to kill, and especially if you beat the murderer, like Gary did and got off with it.
How do you get a not guilty for killing someone?
My mum treated me different, I would get the beats. She'd come to me, I told you not to speak. And I'm like, well, you can't breathe.
What was the first time you were introduced into guns?
12. Gary started before me and I looked up to Gary. When I say ran the gang, Gary was number 1, I was number 2. If Gary said, oh, go and shoot such and such, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to question it, and no one's going to protect you more than your brother. I've started fights, I've started little wars, so my name got known, but the serious gangsters knew that, oh, Gary was the killer, Gary was doing most of the shootings.
You're not getting arrested for all the shootings you're doing?
No, I've been arrested, but I've never been charged. So you left my brother to die on a wet, cold night in Old Trafford because you didn't want to go to jail. That says no more.
I read a headline that your dad murdered Gary. So today we are joined by Skelly, ex-gang leader from Rusholme.
Good morning, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure as always.
I watched a lot of different bits and bobs you've did online, and your story is something that genuinely, mate, and I know I told you this, it genuinely put hairs on the back of my neck, mate. The stuff you've been through, the adversity you faced, and that's why I set up the podcast, to speak to people like you who've been through it, you've been through the system, you know, you've fell victim to the system, and you've also, you know, probably blamed a lot of the wrong people in your childhood growing up, and it's kind of led you to being that kind of gang leader from that area. I know Manchester's a massive place, as we just said off podcast there. But how did you end up becoming a gang leader?
Oh, I've put it down to parents. Dad never being there, coming in and out of your life, but he never was a dad. You know, he would never give you money. Birthdays, Christmas, he wouldn't give no money. The odd bit of money he'd give my mum, he'd take it back. You know, back on my mum. So he didn't have that male figure. And then growing up in Moss Side and moving to Burnage, then Rusholme, and you see, you know, all the drug dealers. My uncle was one of the biggest drug dealers. All that negativity, watching things like Colours, Boys in the Hood, New Jack City, Menace Society. My older brother got groomed by dad and uncle. He started passing drugs and money when he was around 8, 9. This is off my brother's own mouth. My brother never lied. He was a stand-up guy. And then when you get to the ages of 10, 11, 12, and you're in high school and you're hearing your mama cry because she's got no food, got no money, you're having corned beef and rice for like 3 days. The bottle of Vimto's probably got that much, but you've watered it about 10 times, so you're just drinking water. When times like when your mum's saying to put a bit of water in the milk, now all that just plays in you as a teenage boy. You go into school with holes in your trainers. So then you start selling drugs and it just starts spiraling, and then you don't start out as a gang, you start as a group of friends. But then someone from, say, Moss Side or another area would hurt one of my friends. And if you grew up with this guy, like if me and you grew up sleeping at each other's houses, you know, going to school together, you become like a brother. So if you come back to me with blood on your face and we're all like, what's happened? Such and such did this. Then we want to go over there and hurt as many of them as you can. And before you know it, they might bring knives or bring a gun, and you've got to up your game. And then before you know it, you're running a gang. You can see it step by step when you're going through, but just for the quick way, it's just a bunch of circumstances that lead you to go down that way.
What was your upbringing like, bro?
I would say I had a good childhood because I had my brother. So me and Gary's 2 years older than me. We had the same bedroom, same primary school, same high school, same friends. So me and Gary would play on the Wildcat bikes. Gary had a BMX. I had his hand-me-down Wildcat bike. We'd make dens. We'd play Kirby. Go to school together. Things like, I remember the first fight with Bruno and Tyson. Gary would always be the best person, so he was Tyson, I had to be Bruno. Gary had United, I had to be City. But it was full of love through my brother, but my mum and me, we didn't get on at all. My mum treated me different. I would get the beats, and I'm talking with metal pot spoons, wooden pot spoons, curtain wires, Hoover pieces, high heel shoes, or my mum's fists. All that growing up from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and hearing, like me and my brother would be, and my other brother would be with my mum walking in, and someone say, oh, they're your kids. And mum would go, yeah, he's like his dad, him. And you hear that enough, it just gets you like, I'm like him, who's battered you, who's a crap person, just a nasty person. I loved school, I was a class clown. I loved, my childhood was good, but my mum. Everything was good, but my mum. When I'd go in, if anything would happen, I'd get the beating. When me and Gary were talking at night, she'd come to me, I told you not to fucking speak. And I'm like, well, you can't breathe. And then you go to Gary, and you too. And I'm thinking, what? How have I got a flipping big paragraph? And he's got 3-4 words. Just notice things like that. And she'd talk to Gary. I'd come in the house. She'd stop talking like the plague's walked in. Now, as a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old boy, you're thinking, right, you really don't like me. Times when she snapped a snooker cue over my head. Times where she's burnt me with a match. Held my hand. Fair play, I was 6. I lit a piece of paper, threw it in the drawer, and obviously loads of smoke came. She come down, I'm a fucking teacher not to play with fire, and started burning me with the match, and I was screaming. Like, screaming. Didn't take me to hospital. I ran upstairs, and it was Gary that put my hand under the cold water. And I must have blacked out because I don't remember nothing but getting up the next morning, getting told, get to school. And then the school dinner lady was the one that put cream and a bandage on my hand. Mum didn't take me to hospital, didn't say sorry. It was full of love because of my brother, but from my mum, the one parent, I didn't feel loved, and I know I definitely got battered around that house. And if anything happened, I was getting the blame.
Was that something that was normal around Russia? Like those type of upbringings where people were just getting a licking and stuff off the parents? Or was that like, did you feel like, why am I getting all this? Like,
no, a lot of people did get beat, but some of my friends didn't get beat. And if they did, I looked at it like I seen a lot of my friends get treated the same, because I had friends that had brothers, had siblings, and they will all get treated the same. But in my house, I know I didn't get treated the same. So when you're seeing your brother not get beat as much as you, when it's Gary's turn to do dishes and Gary's like, oh, I can't be bothered, then I'm getting forced to do it, and then I'm getting beat because I'm saying, no, it's Gary's turn. So I'm looking at it as a kid, I'm telling the truth. You're forcing me and battering me because Gary told you no, but so now you're putting it on me. So I'd take the beatings, run out the back door, play with my friends. No, I'm going to get battered when I come in, but to me it was worth it because right is right, wrong's wrong.
Yeah. With that relationship you had with Gary, do you think like the more you lent into that and felt the love from him, the more you weren't as bothered about the relationship you had with your mum?
Yeah, because I knew that no matter what my mum did, Gary was here. When mum used to beat me and I'm crying, Gary would put his arm around me. Yo, it's all right, bro. Times where me and mum would have blazing arguments and I'd have tears in my eyes, Gary would come out and sit down and talk to me and like try and show me some sense. Like, Dad's not here. She's got a lot on her plate. But my question would always be, how come she doesn't do it to you? And I think that's what made me and Gary closer, because we're only 2 years apart. And Gary's a mum's boy. You couldn't argue with his mum. But if I argued with mum, even later on in life, he would sit there, bite his nail, and his foot would be getting tapped because he wants to say something, but he's hearing how my mum's treating me. He's seeing how she's treating me and how she's talking to me. So I think Gary gave me extra love because he's seen, this is my little brother. Look how my mum's treating him.
Yeah,
but on the other hand, he's a mummy's boy. So that's his mum and that's his brother. But yeah, I mean, I let into Gary because Gary just gave me that protection. As you're growing up, older lads, no one would really trouble me because of Gary. It was just, Gary was my protector.
And for the listeners or viewers, Skelly, was Gary about that life as well? Was he doing all the kind of the madness outside of the house?
Gary started before me and I looked up to Gary. When I say ran the gang, Gary was number 1, I was number 2. If Gary said, oh, go and shoot such and such, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to question it because he wouldn't tell me to shoot a woman or a kid, or it was always a gang member. Let me just put that out there. So if my brother tells me to do something, I'm going to 9 out of 10, I'm going to do it because he's never led me wrong, even though I got into the drugs following him and the gangs and everything. But for someone in my situation, I'm following my brother and he's not going to send me wrong. He's not going to let me get harmed. So I just followed Gary's footsteps because I wanted to be like Gary. Gary was a quiet person. He was a serious person, where I'm more talkative and having a joke and meet people. Gary would come in here now and wouldn't speak to none of you until you speak to him.
Right, I see. Like a serious guy.
Yeah.
What was the first time you were introduced into guns?
12, little 2.2 Dillinger, the little snapping caps where you snap it open and you got the 2 chambers and you put a bullet on each. And I remember snapping it back. Gary had 2, I had 1, and we had a 9mm Beretta. And I remember just being in the mirror thinking, yo, I'm a gangster. Because I've watched Boys in the Hood colours, but now I've got my own gun. I've got my own bulletproof vest. And you don't know.
At 12-year-old?
At 12 years old, you don't know you're going to, that this gun could kill someone. It's a movie. Until you fire a gun at someone or you shoot someone, it's all just, how can I put it, like a fantasy. What you ever think is going to happen, but it's not like that until you actually do it. So when I'm just like that in the garden and we're testing it at the wood and it's not gone through the wood, you can see the little bullet with that pap. The first time I tested it made me feel like, I don't know, powerful. It just made me feel powerful. Like I thought, yeah, no one can't trouble me now. So I was gassed up from that moment.
Because I know you played a lot of basketball and you were good, weren't you, as well? Yeah,
I played for Manchester Giants, Northwest Boys, Manchester Boys, made it for England. But the love for Gary topped basketball. When I had my scholarship to go to America, I didn't want to go and leave Gary. I could have went easy, But I didn't want to leave Gary because in my mind I'm thinking I go to America for 2 years to play college ball, and if I make it to the NBA, 2 years Gary could be dead. He's deep in the gang life. I didn't want to leave him. And some people like say, "Oh, that was stupid." But when you've got only one person that gives you love, protection, you know, he sits down and talks to you, are you going to want to go to the other side of the world and leave that person knowing that he's in a gang and these gang members don't care about him?
You alright, people? Hope you're enjoying the episode so far. Here's a random one for you. Most of you who are actually watching this episode don't actually subscribe to it, so just do us a favour, will you? Can you click the like button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss another episode, hit subscribe, all that good stuff, because we go up and down the country to try and bring you the best show possible. We're not messing around here, so please just show some love, will you? Of course. Were you impressed by, as much as you want to look out for Gary and kind of he's showing you the love and that, were you almost impressed by that? I know you said when you were 12 you felt like a gangster and stuff, but when you got into the real world and start understanding actually people are getting shot here, there's you know, X, Y and Z going on, were you not fearful as a young lad? Because I would have shit myself, being honest. Like, you know, you'd want to be loyal to that person who showed you love. Like there's people in my life who are very similar to that, but there's also a part of us where I'd be so terrified as a young lad to get involved in that world. Yeah. Or were you like, it's fine, Gary's got us?
Yeah, but at the same time, when you go in to go shoot someone, your heart's beating a dozen. When guys are chasing your guys ride past your house and you see him, your heart's beating. Yeah, there were times I was scared, but you put that fear aside because then the anger kicks in. You know, when Gary be like, right, who these man think they are to ride past? Come, grab the thing, let's go. So yeah, there were times I was scared. There were times I had fear in my heart. But when you're looking at Gary, I just used to be in awe of my older brother because, like I say, it was Gooch, Doddett and alongside Pitbull crew. And there's not one person that can say they've did Gary any harm. There's not one person can say they're disrespecting him in any way because Gary was a serious guy. When I was 13, Gary had a 9mm Beretta, a Luger, we had a sawn-off shotgun, and we had 3 deuces and a 38.
Bloody hell, proper arsenal.
And then we got more as we got older. But so when I'm looking at my brother, and he didn't let on to all these older Gooch lads or certain lads. Gary would come and I'm talking to them. Gary would be like, yo, bro, come. I remember saying to him, yo, how can you don't let on to man? He's like, you the fuck it is why I've got to let on to any of them. Why they need to let on to me? I just remember looking, thinking, rah. And these guys are serious as well. Yeah, but Gary, in his mind, you know, he's just as serious as you, so why do I need to let on to you? And remember, I'm not trying to gas it up. He was a serious guy and I was impressed by him. I wanted to be like him because he had the fear where I was the one that would get the name out there because I'm starting fights, I'm starting little wars. So my name got known, but the serious gangsters knew that, oh, Gary was the killer. Gary was doing most of the shootings.
Was he actually a killer?
God rest his soul, he murdered somebody. And I'm not, anything I'm saying, don't no one get in the comments going, I can glamorize it. I'm not glamorizing it. God rest the person that he killed, and God rest my brother's soul. But in that life, he did kill someone, and I'm not trying to glamorize it whatsoever. It's just facts. He did kill someone, and he shot multiple people.
Did that? I know, and again, I know, not trying to, you know, did that impress you in a way?
Yeah,
the fact that he's a killer. Like,
yeah,
done it.
Because I was the first one to shoot somebody. I shot him in his leg, it missed his knee, it went through, and then I ran at him. It was with the deuce, and then put it to his chest, and there was loads of witnesses there, and I only had one bullet in the first chamber. So then I ran off, had a fight, beat him up and everything. But it was unspoken little, what's the word, race to see who was the first one to shoot someone. Obviously, that was me. Right. Gary was the first one to kill someone. And you, in that life, that's one of the biggest, like, I don't know what you want to say, merit, respect, or whatever you want to call it, you can get, being known as a killer. It brings fear. It makes people not want to mess with you or your family because you're known to kill, and especially if you beat the murderer, like Gary did and got off with it. You wanted that. I wanted to be a murderer, but I thank God that Gary saved me. The one time I was going to murder this person, and I had him in my sights with a 44 revolver, and this guy bullied me when I was about 9, 10, 11, and I caught him when I was, 27, and he was my best friend's cousin, and I swear if I'm lying, God killed me on the motorway on the way home. He turned, and he just froze, and Gary went, nah, you're going to get us lifed off. I said, nah, bro, you know I hate this guy. He's gone, bro, I told you no. So I just shot the bin next to him, obviously the 44, the bin exploded, and then I've got off, and my best friend at the time phoned me and said, Rad, did you just shoot after my cousin? I said, yo, tell him he's lucky that Gary stopped me. And then he goes, nah, my cousin said, Skelly wanted to, could have blew my back out, which I could have, and I really wanted to, but later on when Gary passed away and I got spiritual and I believe in God, I was angry at first that Gary didn't let me catch a body, because I'm thinking, nah, you didn't want me to catch up to you. But then years later when Gary passed away and I became a man and a man of God, I thought, I seen it for what it was. He didn't want me to have that pressure on my mind. Because when Gary killed that person, he was drinking alcohol more, he was smoking more. And he told me when you close your eyes, that his face, I always see it.
When he took that guy's life, can you talk about that or not?
Yeah, it's in the newspaper. He got a not guilty on it. It's over and done with.
Well, there's a couple of questions there. The first
Yeah.
one, what was the altercation while that took place? And the second, how do you get a not guilty for killing someone?
So the first one, it was over. I had a car. This was in 2001. We had a Toyota Corolla 16 valve, and back then they were rapid. That was our riding car, and Gary's friend was in it. These guys tried to rob it off Gary's friend. Gary's friend came and got Gary, and obviously in that life, if you try and rob me, you must expect that we're going to come back.
Yeah, of course.
So they came back. Gary leaned in the car, shot him. God rest the guy's soul again. Shot him again, and shot after some of his friends. So he got done with a murder and 5 attempts, and then dropped from a murder to 3 attempts. And the reason why, when I seen the depths and speak to Gary, police go and do the investigation, obviously, and try and make a picture of you to sell to the courts. Gary will go, like I said, he's quiet. So when they're asking these girls and other people, I met Gary once. Did he say anything? Just said hi and that's it. Where the other person was more like me, more loud, more out there. Gary knew about self-sight. Gary didn't keep his phone with him. The gun got away. You knew about having bleach showers or petrol and burning your clothes and everything. So when they did grab both of them, they had more evidence on the other guy. And when they're trying to build a picture of Gary, I don't really know Gary. Gary's just quiet.
Couldn't really hold up.
Couldn't really hold up. And then they did have a phone number linked to him. And this is Gary telling me when he got out, there was a girl who knew the number and they got her in court. And Gary said, my heart stopped. But thank God. And this is the truth. Gary said, the prosecutor said, what's his number? Asking all the question. Gary said he pulled his piece of paper out and looked at him and smiled like, I've got you. And he went to the girl, can you tell me Gary's number? And Gary said she looked at him and he thought, and she went, 07, I can't remember. And Gary said the prosecutor slammed all the papers down. Well, try and remember 07. And that would have got him lifed off, but she obviously did what she felt was the right thing. And then Gary told me, solicitor said, it's not a crime not to remember your own number. So when you're asking Gary what's his number, is this your number? What's your number? 079, I think. I don't know. So he beat it like that way. And our friend, he got 3 life sentences with a recommendation. He served 16. He's out now. He's doing great in life. But in that time, just being young, stupid, full of alcohol, full of weed, watching all this gangster stuff, listening to all this music. He's underground like COS on all these people. You want to be a murderer because, I don't know, like in football, you want to get the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Being a murderer is kind of like that in the gang world. Yeah, it's a prestige. You're a murderer.
Yeah, I get that. Can you say, like, you've actually shot people yourself?
Yeah.
What was that feeling like the first time you'd done that? Because I'm assuming when you've done it multiple times, it gets to the point where it's just part of the life. But that first time when you thought,
I was scared because I didn't want the guy to die. Because it's all right when you're doing it and you're getting off and you go back and you have a spliff with your boys and that. But when you're in your bedroom smoking a spliff and everything's calmed down, your nerves, your adrenaline, and you obviously back then it was teletext times and you're reading teletext next morning, you're thinking, I hope this guy don't die. Because then it's kicking in that, I'm going to jail. There were other people there who witnessed it. And you are kind of scared, but then the fakeness comes in. So the next morning, I'm not coming out my house, and my gang members like, last night I was scared, I was worried, I didn't want him to die. Man are like, my man's in hospital in a serious way, rare. You're like, I don't care if my man lives or die.
I know with Gary obviously being, and I don't want to just keep talking about Gary, but he was such an integral part in your journey.
Yeah.
And obviously he's kind of, in a way, made you the man you are, mate. And obviously the man before me is a very respectable bloke who's a businessman now, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
And I think you've got to kind of paint the picture on these figures in your life, because someone like him who's had that much kind of impact on you, did he try to stop you? Because like I would look at someone like that, it's almost like a mentor, a brother, or a friend. Yeah. Like you wouldn't want them to do that, not usher someone into it.
Yeah.
Why didn't he stop you from picking up them guns?
And the truth is, obviously he used to say, because one time we caught this guy, or a few times, but we caught this guy, and he was about 16. He was from my side, obviously. Used to chat to the people we had beef with. And when we caught him in the alley, it was 11 o'clock. There was a shop called Links where every other shop used to shut at 10. This stayed open to 11. So you had to risk it to get Rizla, alcohol. And we just sometimes, if we catch you, obviously we're waiting at alley. This kid was a dark-skinned kid. He turned whiter than your night trainers because he caught three of us, Bally's on, big 45 revolver. What was it, the 44? One of them. And the guy's man have put it to his head. And I'm like, nah, allow my man, allow him. And we're arguing. And he's like, yo, he talks to them, man. I'm like, yo, so what? Man talk to us and they're not RCG. Now allow him. So when he walked off, we're walking back, arguing with everyone. And Gary's like, yo, you've got too much of a good heart. You can't keep saving these people, man. You need to get out of it. There were times he was telling me, but I could look in his eyes. He does want me to get out of it, but at the same time, he wants me to stay in it because who's going to have his back like his brother? Who's going to... When went jail the second time, there was 2 batches of heroin they found in my mum's and money. One was mine, one was Gary's. I've only just come out, 6 months prior? From I was in there 16, 17, come out, and they found it. My words were, my uncle coming, he was arguing with Gary. And Gary's like, yo, mum, tell your brother, because I'll do him something. And my uncle sat down, because Gary, if he says something, he'd do it. And I've just gone, you know what, I'll go back to jail. Gary's better at looking after the family and looking after everyone. I only get a 4 now. If I can do that, I talk shit, I meet people, I'm more of an outgoing person, where jail was not for Gary, it proper scared him. So he did want me to go and have a good life, because obviously my brother and he loves me. But at the same time, he knows all these other little gang members around him are not going to love him like a brother. They're not going to have his best interests.
Did that, when you said the first time there, what was that? How did you end up getting your first stretch in prison? And how did you find that? Again, this guy who's running, because I've got a picture of you in my head, what you would have been like at that age, running around doing X, Y, and Z. Is that something that scared you, or did you like the Prestige? Did you want that prison? I've done a bit of jail. Like
that's the truth. You know what? It's a bit of both, because you're hearing all the elders. Yo, jail's like this. You get whammed, and rare. Obviously, a certain man come out of jail, they're looking big. Yo, you go gym, they sell you a picture. So you want to go to get that Prestige. When I was in bail, you're like, yeah, I'm going jail. You get the sympathy of the girl. Oh, I'm going to miss you. And now you're lapping it all up. Then the day before, you're all having blazing and smoking and drinking. But then when you're in that sweat box, your heart's pounding because you're thinking, yo, I ain't got my gun. I ain't got none of my gang members. You're going through them big gates. It's just you. And Stoke Keith was a battleground. So when I went in there, you hear everyone at the window, yo, who's my man? And you're looking up on this man, looking henny, and this man looking like killers. And you're just walking on there, 16, skinny, about 8 stone, piss wet through. You're like, it is what it is. And I say all the time, what got me through jail was I was not going to let my brother get a phone call hearing him won't come out my cell. I'm getting battered. I'm getting bullied. I ain't the toughest guy. Some fights I lost, but just I didn't want to let down my brother in any way. So yeah, I come out my cell. We had fights. I built a name for myself. So when he came up after about a month, 6 weeks, he was like, a man like, yo, Skelly, you good? And the visit is like, oh, you doing all right? I could see the smile and like the proudness on his face, like, yo, my brother's all right.
That must have been a nice feeling deep down to know that you have, even if you had to kind of fake it a little bit, you held your own and made that thing for yourself. Did that make you feel proud to know that you'd done him proud? Yeah.
That was most of the things I did was to make Gary proud. When I'm chasing someone or shooting someone or shooting after someone, and you come back and Gary's just like, yeah, you did your thing, bro. Oh, yo, I'm just nodding. You think, yes, because that's what I look up to. That's what the person I love. I wasn't bothered about the other gang members because you follow my orders. The guy at the top, who's my brother. He's proud when he's going to do something. 95% of the drive-bys G did, I was a driver because he trusted me and I'm a great driver. But he knows I'm going to keep my mouth shut. So when he's picking you, like, yo, bro, come. Yo, I'll come. Nah, come ski. Let's just go. Or jump on a mountain bikes. And you're like, yo, I'm a big bro. Yo, trust me. Looking back now, obviously, it was all stupid what we did. But in that moment, I'm just talking about in that moment, it was like, yo, big bros chose me. And then you're pulling up to other gang members are like, you saying, G? You're saying, Skelly, man, you're doing your thing. And then other men are coming out of jail, like other serious man are like, yo, I heard what you and your brother been doing, like banging on them, man, like holding your own. All that. It's all stupidness, but when you're in that life, to you, it's not stupid. So to me, it was, yo, it's like an achievement. It's like saying stripes on you, like in the army.
What was your mum's thoughts on all this? Because again, like when you started getting serious, was she now my son's in jail? I've got to, what was going on? Like, because obviously Gary must have done did he do the killing before this? The shooting and that before
I went to jail.
Yeah.
No, he did it while I was in jail the second time.
Right, I see. So when your mum was, we'll get onto that second stretch, but what was her thoughts about me son's a bad man, basically?
She like opened the bedroom door and seals bagging up. What you doing? Put that shit away, rare, or whatever, mum. Like, just close the door. And she'd tell us not to do it, and she's never like told us go out and do it. Make my mum make us money. We did it and looked after our mum because she's our mum. We're not going to see her struggle. But when I went to jail, she came and seen me a few times. But then when my other brothers went to jail, she seen them a lot. Like every month she was going up, sent them money. Well, I didn't get no money off my mum. I didn't get no letter off my mum my first jail. I sent my mum £300 at Christmas. I sent a letter saying, I'm sorry for being a bad son and letting you down and rare. Never got a letter back. Never got thank you for the money that you sent, £300 while I'm in jail. It was Gary and my uncle, God rest his soul, he passed away, that came and see me, and probably one of my gang members. But mum never seen me, so I didn't know how she felt. And when I got out, she didn't take the day off or anything. It was.
The thing is, it's what's crazy. I know you haven't mentioned on this podcast, and you're having another clip I've seen where you turn up to a basketball game and your mum was never there. There was other kids' mums and dads and stuff.
That's hurting.
And I know, and I can just tell, and I felt it, mate, when you said that, because I know how much that must have hurt. Like, if I thought to myself in that scenario as a young kid, like, I've got a daughter, like, if she was that kid and I wasn't showing up and she was going to other people's parents for a bottle of water and all the type of stuff, like. But at the same time, when you're in prison, she still did a couple of visits, and there must be some love in her. Maybe she's faced some kind. I'm not trying to justify.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, do you think there's trauma she's faced and maybe it's her upbringing, why she's been that way? Because it's not normal, is it, to not be there at your son's football or to basketball or. You know what I mean?
Then Gary played football. He played one game for school. Then he said he's going to join the team. He got a pair of £160 David Beckham Predator boots. Can remember the price and remember David Beckham's boots because I wanted a pair.
Yeah.
I went to basketball. I had to get my trainers from the Adidas factory. It was all like last year's trainers. And sometimes I had to wait. They were only 30 quid. So I'm looking at things like that. You never came to one of my games. When I used to come home, what sent me down the wrong path, I'll never forget. I played a tournament. I went through all that. And it's disheartening, like when you turn around and you don't have to be a black face or some face representing me. It was your dad. Basket Matthew, it was his sister Basket. So when you're all at the side, it proper makes me like want to cry. And I'm just stood there, skinny kid, thinking, look at all of them. It looks like just warm and love over there. And I'm just here, not even got a bottle of water, just about got bus fare to get back. Thank God someone always said, oh, Matthew, come over. But then when I went home, got on the bus and everything, and I've gone, oh, Mum, I won the MVP, rare. And she just went, yeah. Dismissive. I remember thinking, why the fuck am I trying to make you happy? I'm going to make my brother Gary happy because I'm making you happy. All I'm getting is hurt. So that's when I made the wrong decision to get into that life because my mum wouldn't come to no games.
Was that a conscious choice?
Yeah, it was a conscious choice because imagine you've been doing this for like 2 years at this point and you've got the MVP. Do you know how hard I had to work? And then you come home on the bus and you're sweating and everything and you're buzzing. And you're like, Mum, I've won the MVP, rare. Yeah. But with a hand like that, like, yeah, whatever, go away. And then carrying on doing what she's doing. It was like, fuck you, I'm going to make my brother happy. Yeah. And I just started smoking, drinking alcohol, skipping school, chilling with Gary all the time. It was... And that's why I go to I'm a coach for my daughter's team.
Of course.
And Moston Tigers. And I love it because my daughter, when she does a save, she looks at me and she just sees Dad there. It's a big smile. And
Does your daughter know about your life?
Oh, yeah, this girl... she Googled it. I used to be on Netflix and Armed and Dangerous, and I used to go in the room. She'd be sat there watching it 3-4 times, and I've took her to when I've done sessions in schools or youth clubs, and she's come. Cause I don't want to lie to her, so she knows the mistakes Dad's made. But I think she loves me more because she sees that I've turned it around, and all the young people that when she comes, oh, your dad's a good guy, he's helped me out. And one of the proudest things I've done as well, I'll never forget, my son, who's 20, Demika, I love him, a great kid, and I never went to his football game, so when I come out of jail, this is skipping it to the third time I come out of jail, had a conversation with him, sat there as a man, as a dad, crying like, sorry, son, and he's like, nah, Dad, it's all right. I said, no, it wasn't all right. I know how it felt when my mum didn't come, and I never came in school to any of your games. I can't take it back, but... And I was crying on the phone to him, and you could tell he felt bad for his dad, but I was like, nah, because I've got to own this one. And then I finished school, and he phoned me and went, Dad, I want to tell you about it, though, because you might laugh. I went, what? He went, I've got a job in B&M. I said, son, you're the first one in the family to get a job from leaving school. I'm proud of you. And then he told me he's got a football game and he lives in Stafford. So I went up and I got there 10 minutes before half time. I didn't say nothing. And when he's walking off, I went, Demikai. And my friend Michelle was with me, Michelle Gleason. And he just looked up and he's had the biggest smile as he's going down the tunnel. And then the proudest moment is when he finished, he went, Dad, would you drop me to work? So I was like, Dad, I've come to see your game and I'm dropping you to work. It was just one of the best feelings.
Amazing, mate. Fair play, mate, because you've been through that cycle to a point where there's no return.
Yeah.
Some of the things that you've been done, seen, witnessed, all that type of stuff, and you realise that is, even that, mate, it's almost like you've won.
Yeah,
at this point anyway. That's the way I look at that.
Yeah.
Like, it really is, because every there's every reason you could have been dead now.
Yeah.
It's not, you know what I mean? I mean, even before the Gary stuff, like running around with guns and doing X, Y, like
when I got shot.
Fucking hell. I want to ask you one thing before the shooting when you got shot. Stoke Heath.
Yeah.
How old were you when you went there?
16.
Because I know that's where Bugsy Malone went, wasn't it?
I don't know.
So he ended up. How bad is Stoke Heath?
Well, I don't know.
It's a while, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know when he went there. I went there in '99. You had a lot of Scoutsers, Brummies, man from Wolves, a lot of Manny Man, a couple of Stoke people. That was gang central, and then you went to Hindley after that. But yeah, I had a few fights, and then if you weren't about it, you'd stay on your wing. So if you're going to gym, going to football tournaments, you are going to book up on people you don't like. Yeah. And I booked up on battered a few people. This one guy from Sunderland.
Shut up, man.
No, serious. This white guy, me and him, he came from Wetherby. Right, you get more gym. Yeah, so he was cut up. Obviously, I had a bit of size of me. Me and him at first got on. But you know, that testosterone, I'm the cock of the wing. And I can't remember, he had a disabled sister. And my son was, I think did he turn 1? Yeah, just turned 1 when I got locked up. And I can't remember, you're dissing each other.
Yeah.
And he said, something about my son. And obviously that hurt me. So I said something about his disabled sister. So we're like, well, when we get in the showers, we're fighting. So we're both like 16, 17, naked in the shower, next to each other, washing, talking to whoever. Then we get dressed and we got into this little cubicle, no more than probably from here to where he is. And obviously, I'm 16, 17, I'm in that gangster mode. I've gone, right, what you saying? He's just gone, bang! I seen stars. Like, serious, I had to go like that. And then he banged me again. And obviously, I've come round, I banged him, and I've got a skinny knuckle, so I bust his lip. I've on everything. He's just gone, bang, he's caught me there. My brain was rattling. But then someone shouted, yo, the officers come in. Yeah. So like we shook hands and he's gone, you know what? You got the best of me. Look at my lip. I said, nah, you got the best of me. Yo, there's nothing wrong with you. When I went to my cell and lay down, my mind said, one more of them, you would have been out cold. Yo, my brain was rattling on my bed. That taught me, shut your mouth and just fight. Oh, that what you're saying, yo. But me and him became good friends after that. And maybe that fight needed to happen to show me that, listen, being a man, or being gangster, whatever you want to call it, doesn't mean using guns. You got to be able to throw your fists.
But that's the thing. I was going to say, when you're in there, do you feel like you needed a gun? Because there'll be some lads out there who think, I don't need weapons. I know I can have a I like a tear up. Or there's some lads who are like, they just become fucking nobody because they haven't got the thing that they would have had on the street. Were you like that or not?
No, I could. I'm not saying I'm no knockout. I can look after myself.
Yeah.
And I've got heart to fight, because the worst what's going to happen, you're going to bust my lip, bust my nose. So I could handle myself to a degree, but this guy could clearly. He was one like, I know a lot of Sunderland and Geordies can fight. Like you say, the up for it is their culture, where mine's is with guns. But growing up in the 80s, when, I don't know, someone took your coat, your mum would make you go out there and fight. So I'm used to a bust slip. I'm used to throwing punches and getting in a scrap. So when you go to jail, your heart's pounding, but yo, let's just get this over and done with, because I'm one of them people I don't like to run. So if I'm hearing you're after me, or you've got a problem with me, I'll approach you like, yo, what's the problem? Mm-hmm. So it's out of my system. I'm not running and thinking, yo, is he going to kill me? Is this going to happen? Because you do play scenarios over in your head. I'm like, no, let me go meet my man and see what it's about. And 9 times out of 10, it gets talked out because I've said something, or someone's told you I've said something or done something. And then when you actually talk to each other, it's like, you know what? Yeah, safe, bro.
How because obviously in this life, mate, you must be paranoid when you're on the road and that. Do you, if there's any kind of altercation, are you just prepared to shoot? Or is it a case of like, let's just try and, de-escalate the situation? Or is it like, it's on?
Gary, if it's an argument, Gary's like, yo, 1 minute, stay here, yo, come, Skelly, come. I'm thinking, fuck me, man, I know what he's going to do, grab the gun and fucking murder. So I'm like, let's just talk. And then, nah, fuck that. I'm like, yo, bro, mama's going to go and get his thing, and then it's just going to be a long thing, let's just talk it out. But then it depends what someone's done. If someone's done something to one of my little brothers or to my other brothers, I'm going to get a gun. If it's me, we can talk about it off, fight. Because a lot of people back then couldn't fight. So it's, yo, wait here. I'm like taking my top of it, let's just have a fight, come, fuck this, come, let's go. And then most times still, people don't want to fight, like you're saying.
Why did Gary why was he the way he was? Did you have the same parents?
Yeah.
Yeah, so why is he that, like, because he was so quiet, you're so loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the real deal.
Yeah.
And you were kind of stepping into them shoes and building your own name and stuff. Why do you think he was that way? Do you think it was more family trauma stuff?
I think it was him being the eldest. He would have probably seen things with my mum and dad. Obviously, he was like passing drugs from one to the other when he was 8, 9. That's his own words, from my dad to my uncle to my dad. And some people's character is just, and he's the oldest brother. So when you're living in Russia or Moss Side, and your dad's not really there, I think he felt he had to look after his family, be the man of the house. And obviously a lot of houses were getting broken into. But if you had a name, no one's going to touch your house. So I feel Gary had all that pressure. I know my brother, he had a lot of pressure because he's got 3 brothers that joined gangs, or 4, because I've got a brother from my dad, to join gangs, to look after them. He felt bad every time I went in jail. He felt bad when I got shot. He looked after my mum, wanted to buy my mum a house. He had his own kids. He had all this pressure as being the eldest. And then, like, when Gary passed away, I had this pressure to look after my brothers, make sure nothing happens to them. You know, a few situations happen where I've got to go and approach people, and like, nah, rare. So I just think it's just being the eldest, and he had to be serious. Where I could be a clown, a jackass, and have fun, because I just know at the end of the day, if I can't sort it, I've got a brother that's down to ride for me at anybody. It didn't matter. Because I never forget when he beat his murder charge, I had problems with certain guys from a certain gang in my side, and they were serious. I never forget. My heart was, I was kind of scared because these men are serious. But when I phoned Gary, and Gary's just gone, yo, I said such and such is saying this. He's like, bro, I swear down, no one can touch you, bro. When I've got off my murder, man, what I see me in another 5 murders, bro, I kill them all. No one can touch you, bro. See, when I put on the phone, I was hovering, because when your big brother tells you that, no one ain't troubling you, bro. I'm murdered. I've just beat a murder. This is on the prison phone, and that's how much we care about each other. Like, we don't care who he is. You touch my little brother, it's murder. So I felt he just had that pressure to look after the family.
When you got shot, Skelly, what brought that on? If you don't know by now, I run a business called The Content PT. I create content for influencers, PTs, online coaches and fitness brands all around the world. So if you are someone who's in need for sexy content for your social media, or you really want to maintain a competitive edge in your industry, drop me a DM on Instagram.
So I took 2 people to my side to go and anybody's Dotted members chilled. So we had the 9 and I think the 45. And then I've taken the corner, parked in the alley, told my brother and his friend stay here. I've gone around the corner. When I hit the corner, there was about 4 or 5 of these young gang members. But they were only like 15, 16, 17. And I remember what Gary said, if you're going to kill someone, make sure it's worth it, because that's going to stay on your conscience. Now, I didn't want, and it was about from here to the wall. I could have blew at least 2 of the heads off and the others would have scattered. But I didn't want to kill them, because what would the newspaper do? 25-year-old gang leader kills 15-year-old kid and put them in the put them on the news with the school uniform. Yeah. Not that this guy was out at 11:30 at night trying to be a gangster, and he was been in cars with certain people. It would have made me look bad. So, and on my conscience, I can only do things where I know I can look in that mirror. Because there was a time in life I couldn't look in the mirror because I didn't like who I was and what I was doing. So I just let him run off. And then I've given my brother the gun, and I'm trying to fix my pants. And as he's rid out, I've had to follow him up. And then as I'm riding, a guy's come behind me with a gun, and I thought, don't know why, I've gone this way behind my side brewery over the patch of grass. I was hearing bang, 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 like 6 quick shots. And I am scared now. It's about 10:30 at night. It's raining. I can feel the bullets like, I am scared. So then obviously my brother's come out. There's been an exchange of shots. Then as I'm about 3/4 of the way over this croft, I never forget, I'm a spiritual person. And I've just heard a voice go, look to your left. There's a kid in the road with a Mac 10 machine gun, and he's holding it like that, but he's walking sideways, and like, this guy knows what he's doing, because most guys were trying to roll in one hand like the movies, and obviously machine guns rattle. No, he had it like that with the stock out, and I thought, no. So I've gone like that to grab my gun. I gave it my brother before we left out the alley. So I'm thinking, yo, can't you see my man in the road? I've just gone, and he's had it like that. So, and I'm leaning forward on my bike. My bulletproof vest obviously was raising up because you're leaning forward. And I'm thinking, oh, it's just going to go through the side. It's going to rip everything in the middle. And I just went, God, if this kid's going to shoot me, please let this kid shoot me in my lower body. I know God listened to me, because the guy went like that. And then went, ugh! The machine gun just left to right. And then got in the car, chased us with another shooting, got to my son's granddad's house. And then when I got in the house, there was blood coming out my thigh. And I thought, Gary's come, got in the car. When we've come left off the estate, the police and the ambulance were there. So Gary's gone, yo, there they are. So we've stopped. My little brother's jumped out the car, ran back into the estate. We've turned the car around and drove. Behind us, like no more than 4 seconds, the police dived for cover. And the paramedics got in the ambulance, drove off. I've like pulled my belly up, I'm hobbling. It's all the gang police. And like, I know what's been shot. Threw me on the floor, battered Gary, battered Nathan. I'm going in and out of consciousness, and I'm like, get the ambulance back. Obviously, I'm not shouting that out, but I'm like, yo, get the ambulance back. And the police are like, come over and laughing like, oh, we don't care if you die. All the things that you and your brother done, the people your brother's murdered, the houses you've shot up, the young kids that lives you've ruined, the things we know you've done and got away with. We don't care if you die. You have to wait 45 minutes for the arm response, and it's setting out now from Cheshire. I've already been bleeding, and remember when you're riding, you're pushing out more blood for a good 45 minutes. I just remember looking at Gary, and what hurt me more than me getting shot was Gary had a tear in his eye. Gary don't do emotions. But imagine it, he's just thinking, my little brother's been shot, run away to hospital, might be bleeding out, And he's thinking it's all his fault because I've done everything to make him proud. And then I just remember waking up in the ambulance. The woman's like, don't fall asleep. You've lost too much blood. And I promise you, people that were in that life and did it to a high degree quickly, it gets on your soul, it gets on your mind. And I just closed my eyes and I said, God, I want to die. I'm tired of this life. Woke up, I ain't going to lie, I was wounded. First thing I said, I've seen all the arm response. Where's my brother Gary? Oh, we've locked him up. We locked my brother up for, I'm the victim, so he doesn't go murder anyone again. We know he's murdered such and such. This is their words. We're letting him out tomorrow because we can't charge him. Tell him to murder someone between now and Thursday because I can't be bothered chasing your brother. He's a nasty piece of work. And then when the doctor told me it's gone in my left leg, went through the bottom of my penis, went through my testicle, and it's in my right leg. When I see my penis, like, you could see this oh, it was disgusting. Bro, I blacked out. Oh, seriously, my baby was with me. I blacked out. And then I woke up again, and when I woke up in the morning, and it's gone for your testicle. And I said, how many bullets went? One. It went right through everything. Just straight through the left leg, come out there, come out the penis, come out going through the testicle and in the right leg. And he went, you're so lucky. I went, why? He went, just think of it. And guys out there wouldn't understand. When you're riding your bike with your boxer shorts, everything's up and down, your balls and testicles up and down. He said everything had to be perfect aligned for that millisecond for Ed to go through. All my bullet holes were in one line.
Fucking hell, that's mad.
I was in a wheelchair for a couple of months on crutches. Yeah, guys come to the hospital from the other side. I phoned my brother. My brother come, shot the car up. My little brother got arrested for possession of a firearm with intent to danger life. But he also didn't find a gun, so he got out in a wheelchair, my gun under my wheelchair. Yeah.
So do you know when that happened? Did you not want to quit the life?
Yeah. But I didn't want to leave my brother. And how are you going to quit at that point when it's thick of war? You've just been shot. My boys are going out shooting up their boys. That my boys are in the park. It's known with in their park with guns on the floor playing football in the enemy's park at night. Like a man are phoning him like, yo, we can see a man of my boys. Like, yo, come out, bro. You think you can shoot Skelly? I ain't gonna lie. There was my gang and another gang that linked up, and then man were terrorizing it. Like from Rusholme to Moss Island. Anyone who says there wasn't, they're just lying. I'm not here to gas it up. Think of it. One of the gang leaders has been shot. I've looked after all my gang members, ones that have now gone bigger. They just all linked up. I thought, nah, shooting Skelly. And obviously did what they were doing. And obviously I got out, still carrying on, and then went to prison for a third time.
Because I know Manchester's known as Gunchester.
Yeah.
Is it true? Is it rife with guns here? Is it actually easy to get your hands on them, all that type of stuff?
Yeah, if you know any gang member, everyone's got connections to get guns. And especially in the 90s, late 80s, 90s to say 2010, yeah, it was off the rick. Anytime I left my house, I'm going to say 9% I had a gun. If I was going out of Manchester, I wouldn't have a gun on me because I'm going out of Manchester. But if I was in Manny, going Moston to look for gal or wherever, just day to day, if we're not in Rusholme, we've got a gun with us because in Rusholme, you're all right. You see, man, you chip off a few corners, alleys, or you run for man, you'll grab that thing, man are chasing me. Things like when my cousin was getting chased from certain man, and we told him, come down Warmer Street. Warmer Street is a tight street, and you can only go left or right at the bottom. But the guy was so scared because he knew what he was going to do. We were like, take him down here, we're going to light the car up. He went the other way, because he knew what was going to happen. And as I say, certain people get in that life and want to portray it, but when it gets down for the nitty gritty, you want to look like a gangster, but you don't want to be a gangster. And
I think that's what's sad about that life,
yeah,
because you get people who shouldn't really be in it. They're not really about.
Yeah, they're not made for it.
Do you know what I mean? Like, do you think you were made for it?
Nah, I tell people I weren't made for it. I just got good at it because of Gary. Because Gary is a great leader, and you want to make him proud. Like Gary commanded 10 guys. All the other gangs, Gooch did it alongside, they had 20, 30, 40 members. We had 10. So we had to take it 10 steps further. So when we're riding our bikes in broad daylight, non-handed, with the guns already out, I never forget when we seen these police and we had the 45 and we had a 9. I had the 9, Gary had the 45. We're fully battered up. It's about 3 o'clock and we've come like this walkway. There's a place called Shot and Walk in Rusholme and 2 police officers come and I swear on my life, they're just gone. And Gary, we've all gone to run. Gary's gone, don't run, just look at him. So we just turned and looked at him, and they stopped. So after we obviously chipped off and everything, I said, right, what was that about? He went, and I've seen police, I've seen our response where it was nighttime, run a corner planning to run in someone's gaff, and we've got guns out, like 3 of us. And our response was gone, woo, looked. And Gary's gone, don't run, look at him. We've looked at him with guns out, and I'm thinking, fuck. And they're just gone. and drove off. I ain't gonna lie. 2 days later, they came to the house and kicked Gary, like got him on the ground, kicked him up, and like grabbed us all up. But Gary went, why? He went, police ain't superheroes. They want to go home to their wives as well. Would you jump out of your car, even though you got your gun on the side? You have to jump out and get it out.
Fuck that.
And Gary would have shot him.
Yeah, exactly. That's and if they're known as well.
Yeah.
So again, something that's probably a misconception with people. I mean, this is a bit of a tangent, right? So I remember going to there's a Cheetah Mill years ago. You know where they used to do all the Nick gear and all.
Yeah.
I remember buying some fake Nikes, and this was like years ago, right, when I was a kid. But I remember it was near Strangeways Prison, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And is it near? It's near Strangeways.
Yeah,
Prison.
Berry Road. Yeah.
So we were there, and that we're doing this, that, and the other. And I remember thinking at the time, the police must know what's going on because I know what you can get in them.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, how do they not? So are they aware of people like yourself, or even that type of shit? Like, and do they just turn a blind eye? Or do they like kind of allow it because it's organised? Like, well, look, if Gary's on the streets, or Skelly's on the streets, well, at least, you know, if anything kicks off, they're going to probably look out. Do you know what I mean? Do they almost use you?
With murders and shootings, they're not. There's none of that. They're coming for you. Drug dealing, they're coming for you. But I remember there's times, and my little brother, Kyle can testify to that. One time I got arrested for having a police issue bulletproof vest, bang to rights. They brought me to the station. It was the CID that knows. And they've gone, the sergeant's like, yes, it's Saturday. You know, that's a lockdown for you till Monday. I'm like, oh. So got into the interview room. And the police, whoever are watching this, if it's you know, make a comment. She stopped the tape and she's gone, I'm going to tell you how to get out of this situation, but I need something from you. She said, a lot of the Somalian kids are robbing the students. We need it to stop. I said, all right, then, if I make it stop, would you, like, get me out of this? She went, yeah, tell me what to say. So I said it, got bail, told them, listen, take that shit to Fallowfield, Moss Side, you know, rob the Yardis, whoever. Do not touch the finger. We're making money off drugs. They're going to keep coming for me and my brothers and all us. Yo, go. 2 weeks later, I had Gary's big chain on, and I'm walking to my car to go to Stafford with my little brother Kyle, and he can testify. Just heard, yo, Ja Rule. And I like the rapper, because I had the big chain, and I've turned it. It's the CID, and they've gone, did I keep my side of the bargain? She went, yeah. Oh, the robberies are happening in Fallowfield. I went, Fallowfield's not my area. You said stop it in Russia. She started laughing. She went, fair play. And there'll be times they'll pull you over and be like, this is going on, Matthew. You know, students are getting robbed, houses are getting burgled. Come on, stop it. And then we're just talk to whoever's doing it, say, listen, whether you've got to put guns to me, like, listen, allow all that because we want to make money off selling drugs. Yeah, police are still going to try and raid you, but you don't need the extra presence because civilians are getting robbed. Like, take that stuff to another area.
How feared were you, Skelly, then? Like, at your peak, were you like, did you have it on lock? Or was the other guys who, actually, I probably shouldn't mess with them? Or was it like, no, you and your brother, that was it?
You're probably...
I know, you don't want to, I know you don't want to glamorize it.
I'm not glamorize it, and Gary's always there. I'm here. I want to say there was a good... I'm going to say seriously, like proper seriously, that if I had to go out without Gary, I would have been kind of worried a bit. Everyone can get shot, but certain people are just made for it to sneaky. They've got their little tactics. I'm going to say no more than 8. And
Really?
that's 3 from that gang, 2 from that, 2 from that. Yeah, there's about 8 people that I would have not been scared, but I would have been worried if I would have to go head to head with him. Because at this point, well, I've never killed no one. But I've shot people, but I've never killed no one. But now you're going against killers. It's a different ball game.
Yeah.
You know, so I would say Gary plus another 8 people. The rest, I've shot people. You've shot people. Who cares about a shooter? We've shot, there's loads of people that have shot people, but there's, like I said, there's a different level of serious. I was serious. I was feared because me and my brother are, and those times, God's my witness, we come to parties, and like house parties in other areas, and you'll see people go, that's them, man. That's them, man. And you can see them because we're all walking with ballies with guns out, and obviously we go into parties, we're looking to see if anyone's in there who shouldn't be in there. And obviously you base up, you're smoking, you're outside in the car, then you need to get off. So yeah, I had a name. I was feared. I'm not saying I was the most feared guy in Manchester because I wasn't. But if you had a problem with me, you know I'm coming to your house with a gun. You know I'm kicking doors off. You know that we're going to try and kill you.
Was there many people who would have came for you? Like, did that happen? Did it ever go the other way where people are on you and Gary?
Not Gary, on me, because I was more visible.
Yeah.
I got shot. There was guys that used to ride to rush home, some of the Dodderton boys. I give the guys, people that I went against, I give respect, because otherwise, I've said this before, if there were Muppets, we would have wiped them out, and clearly they weren't Muppets. They were about business. So there were guys that came for us, and we would go for them. But like I said, out of every gang, I'm going to put, every gang's got about 4 or 5 real, authentic guys that are about it, that are on job, and then the rest make up numbers. Like, we had 10 people, and I'm going to say there were 5 of us that would kill you or that would actually do it. The rest are numbers, put a bally on. It makes it more intimidating with more numbers in it. But how many people are actually going to really want to blow your brains out and keep their mouth shut?
Just a question here, and obviously you don't have to say whatever you want to say. Have you done a lot of shootings that you haven't been caught for?
I've shot 4 people.
You shot 4, and do people know this? Like,
you hear the name like in the morning because it's under a bally. Sorry, you hear, yo, it was that man in the morning. Man will come up and, yo, that was you, man, innit? No, she just do a little smirk, like to say, but you never say because man will take that information and use that to get out of jail. Yo, you was Skelly that did that, but yo, that was you, brothers, innit?
But obviously
police will grab you as well, and police will say, we noticed you, but how are you going to prove it?
Well, this is what I was going to say, because obviously you've done 3 prison sentences. You've done 4 shootings, as you've just said. So clearly you're not getting arrested for all the shootings you're doing.
No, I've been arrested, but I've never been charged.
But you've never been charged?
Yeah.
So no evidence, So any of those victims are obviously, they haven't died.
Yeah.
Are they not seeking revenge? Because like I feel like I'd be honest. Like if someone shot me, I'm going to jail for that. Like for me, of course I am. Regardless, you're gonna try and go back at the man. You kind of just get shot and. Do you know? There's got to be a level where you think that man's willing to take me life now.
All right, then. So you get your boys and come back. Now it's tit for tat. But
yeah.
I might have shot you, but you ain't one of the serious riders. You just happen to get caught out of bounds. So then you go back and tell your boys, they come through. But then we go back through, and we did a lot of stuff in broad daylight, which made our reputation more, because certain men do it at night time.
Yeah.
Now, we were doing broad daylight shootings. We were doing drive-bys in broad daylight. And people who watch this, who know who've gone against, they know I'm not lying. It was me hanging out the window on that occasion. It was G jumped out the back door on that occasion. I'm driving. Because certain times, you've not even got a bally, you've just got a bandana, or you tie your hood up tight. Yeah. And people know you by your build, and when you shout, yo, come here. And certain times, I've jumped out and chased people with guns, but not shot after them because there's too many people, too many witnesses. Mm-hmm. So all that builds your reputation, and people know, like, jail, I fight. I've been caught with guns, and like when I'm chasing people on my own, I've jumped out of cars and like had it with people. So people know I'm going to fight, and I will go and take it to the next level where Gary's just going to get his gun. He ain't going to fight. So us 2 brothers, everyone said them brothers, it was just them brothers because it was me, my brother G, and then I got 2 little brothers who eventually got into it, and then they had their own reputations. But Gary was there, his reputation was there, mine was there. I would never have caught Gary's reputation because he was the leader. Gary was the serious one. But yeah, Skelly's name was known all around Manchester. Like I said, I'm not glamorising it, and I weren't the toughest guy, I weren't the killer, but I would do what I need to do, and I'm not going to snitch. I'm a stand-up guy, so yeah, I was fair to a degree. Like when you're known to shoot people and you're known to go to jail and fight, most people didn't want to catch me in jail and fight because I can fight. How many guys from the 80s and 90s can actually fight?
Well, mate, I've had 110 people on this podcast, and a lot of people from that world have been on the podcast, and you can. I get it. You know that feeling when someone's talking shit. I mean, we're talking about this off air, but like the things you say, the way you talk, the way you handle yourself, where you are now, how proud you are as a dad, and the things you do as a football coach, and this, like you can tell you're not there to sell a fucking story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's. I would always respect anybody who just tells the truth, regardless. Because the way I look at this, and the reason I do the podcast, Skelly, is, you know, if someone can be helped to not fucking go down that route, I don't want anyone in that scenario. Like, I never want someone, even if they are lacking love from the parents or something, there's got to be another way. Even if they might lose a bit of self-belief on they're a great basketballer. They might not get the pat on the back for the mum and dad, but someone else that's good enough can just keep driving, believe in yourself. I know it's easy to say, but if you're in that, but your environment and everything you've tried to do, you can kind of see, like when I look at you and I speak to you, I can almost sense like the young lad in you. Like you just wanted that fucking love. That's all it was. I know it's horrible to say that, like that's all it was.
Now you're getting me emotional because it's real too. I just wanted the love, and Gary gave me the love.
You can tell that.
It might not have been the love that I should have got, because how does he can't be a parent, give me the love that a parent can. He can only give me the love as a big brother, and like I seen him as a dad figure. But his advice is always going to be to shoot first. Not to, yo, bro, allow that because there's another way, or try and talk out. Gary's was a shoot first. So that's why I looked up to him, because he had the bigger reputation. But the love-wise, and I've had some people, in the comments zesty, and I'm like, some people are just muppets. How's it zesty? It's my big brother. Oh, he didn't think for himself. Of course I thought for myself, because I wasn't always with Gary every second of the day. But if someone who loves you and gave you that love and protection says, yo, do this, 90% you are going to do it. because he's not telling me to harm women, kids, or old people. He's telling me to harm gang members.
So no matter what he said, if he said shoot this guy, you'd have done it.
Yeah. Not every, like I said, 90%. Sometimes he's told me to do some wild things. I'm like, nah. Like when one morning we've rid down Great Western Street, he's got me up. It's about 8 o'clock, and we're riding. Bally's a road up. He's got the gun, running 2 mountain bikes, and obviously all the young school kids are, you all right, Gary? You all right, Matthew? So we're riding. We've got to this house. Brothers gave me the bike. I'm holding it, and I'm not lying. I'll never forget. It was about 10 past 8 when we got there. So there's like a traffic jam, people going to school, buses, and people are like, because I've held the bike, we fully rolled down the Bally's. Gary tapped this guy's mum's window with the gun. Tapped it again. Someone's coming, and you see him duck, and G's like that. And then he's there for no longer than a minute. He's got on the bike, rolled back, and I've gone, oh, what the fuck was you going to do? He's gone, shoot whoever come to the door. I said, you're going to get me lifed off, bro. I'm going to stop chilling with you for a bit. So I kind of eased off chilling with him, went to jail. What happened 6 months later? Him and his friend, the murder, his friend got lifed off, and that would have been me. If I would have been out, that would have been me. So every time I've gone to jail, something big's happened. So I always thank God, like, you've removed me from it for a reason. I'm going to look at where I am now, and now I know the reason.
What was the... In fact, we'll talk about... I know Gary's no longer with us.
Yeah.
God rest his soul, mate. And again, it's like when you hear that and how much of an impact someone's had. I mean, no one wants to lose anybody.
Yeah.
Certainly your only guidance through life when other people haven't showed up, and that guy has. Even when it's been negative, he's still been there. I think that's more important than the actual thing. Do you know what I mean? The fact that someone's there. So what if this badness is happening? Someone's still there in your corner. And that's important. I think everybody needs that, mate. Some people don't have that, and this is why I just feel like if someone can listen to something or see something, or I don't know, I drop you a message like, bro, like I'm stuck. Like, I'm not saying you've got to be everybody's counsellor, but like even I learn about myself by speaking to people. Like, how can I be a better dad? How can I do? Do you know what I mean? And like, so this is invaluable, mate. Like your journey and your story with obviously Gary not being with us anymore. What happened? Because I read a headline that your dad murdered Gary. Is that the truth?
My dad was there when my brother got stabbed, and the person in the coroner court basically said, your dad did it. I've had it out with my dad. He's never told me he's not stabbed my brother. I don't care what my brothers say who were there. I don't care. I know what happened. I know what I heard in court, and I know what happened. He's a piece of shit. I would never speak to him again. He cannot come near me. He would never wear a dad anyhow. And my other brothers speak to him. That's their prerogative. I'm loyal to Gary till the day I die. I would never speak to that man ever in my life. He cannot come in my radius. Don't care.
Was that just something that went wrong that night?
Yeah, they went to do something. It went wrong. My dad and his friend ended up stabbing my brother. My other brother got stabbed in his back, but lucky he went to hospital, and he was in like a coma for a few days and come out. And Gary died. And from my own brother's mouth, I just tell the truth. I say this part because you got young people that I work with, and they're like, gang, yo, and my boy would never leave me. I said, when my brother got stabbed, this is off my own brother's mouth. He dropped my brother and ran off because he had the police and he had the gun. So you left my brother to die on a wet, cold night in Old Trafford because you didn't want to go to jail. That says no more. And this is truth because there were girls, his baby mother, my brother's baby mother, when I was in jail, after it, they come to see me, and my girlfriend, my mum, and my mum's like, you don't know what you did. And they both went, yeah, Matthew would have never left him because Matthew loved my mum more than his own life. And that's his baby mother and my girlfriend who knew me since 12 and has been around me and Gary. But that's each of their own, and I wouldn't have. I would have went to jail with the gun. I'm not asked about going to jail. My brother's just told me he's been stabbed and fell into my hands. Do you think I'm going to leave my brother to die? Are you crazy?
Exactly. You know what, mate? I think you're right. Like, I think the saddest part about that was the fact that he was left, right? He might have just had words.
Thank you. I always say you could have said something to me. Give mum this message, give my daughters, give Matthew, give my baby mother this message, but we never know. And I'd like to thank whoever I've met the woman who, like she said, I didn't have the strength, so I've dragged him off the road and put him on my nice garden, had roses and it was a nice garden. And a guy who just finished work stopped, he was on the train tracks, just finished work, stopped and gave my brother mouth to mouth. So at least I can take two people who never knew him and white people who stayed with him, where all the other black people stood round and talk about all this black power bullshit. You just watched my brother die. None of you didn't help him. It was two white people. So from that lesson I learned, forget all this black pride and this black power crap. If you're a good person, a good human being, I've got time for you. I don't care what colour, religion, creed you are. I don't care. I just care about being a good person. And if you're a good person, I've got time for you. But when I tell the young people that, and they all go quiet, I'm saying, you think your boy is going to stay with you? My brother left my brother to die. That's real talk. So look at your friend. And if you've got 10 friends, how many would you think would stay with you? And they all go 1. I'm like, but you're chilling with the other 9.
So what? Well, I can't even imagine. So you were in prison when this.
Yeah.
How did you get the news? Like, how did you find out this happened?
So if I get into this part gets to me, I woke up. I was in an open prison, so I seen Gary. Monday to Friday, I went back to jail. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, had my phone. Obviously, I'm in open prison. Got me open my phone, talking to him. Tuesday night, put the phone away. Wednesday morning, I never forget 27th of July. It's hot, and I'm thinking, yeah, man's going home. You know, I've still got 18 months left, but I'm going home in another 28 days for another home leave. I'm like, yeah, chill, my brother. I see my kids and that. Smoking a burn, like tobacco, and I've got my brew, and I'm outside, and this guy comes running up to me. But this guy tells a lot of lies. So the first thing at 8:30 in the morning, you think, oh, what do you want? He's gone, yo, bro, have you heard what happened last night? I've gone, nah, why? He's gone, 2 of your brothers have been stabbed. I've gone, what? I've gone, nah, we shoot first. He's gone, nah, 2's been stabbed, 1's dead. And I promise you, and everything I love, I would have thought it was any of my other 3 brothers. Not the most serious one who really doesn't do anything. And every time I've been to jail, Gary does not go to do robberies. He don't do nothing because his sidekick's not there. I never really go to do shootings without my brother. I did it with my other brother and I got shot. And I've gone on the phone to my mum. I'm like, morning, mum. She's talking normal. I'm like, what you doing? I'm just going Liverpool, rare. So I'm thinking this guy's talking shit again. But I just had this little feeling of going, nah, forget all that my mother heard about my brother. And I'll never forget, my mum just went, Gary's dead. I said, you what? She went, yeah, Gary's dead. He got stabbed last night in his heart. Your brother's dead. Your other brother's on life, in a coma. I put the phone down. I went to my cell. I'm shaking. I'm like, dead. And this next guy's come and just like, obviously we're not even friends at this point. He's like, yo, you see me crying. Yo, what's up, man? Rare. And then he just put the telly on and I just heard, yeah, Gary Mullings last night, stabbed, rare, died. And it felt like someone was just pricking me in the heart with a knife. Not even putting the info, just... And I'm crying, snotty nose, heartbroken. It doesn't. Anyone that's lost a brother or someone that you really love, you know what I mean. Your world comes crumbling. I'm not even angry. It's just the disbelief. And then 2 hours later, they said go to reception, put my clothes on. I can go home for two days because that's an open prison. When I've got them crying, I've put my hands like that. I just felt some handcuffs. The gang police have phoned the jail and told them who I am because the jail only know what you're in for. And on my Oasis, it's just drug dealing. They didn't know I was a gang member and a gang leader and did all these things. So police told him, get him out of his jail, put him in a secure jail. They sent me to Marlins. And I'll never forget that first night. I went to sleep, I woke up. But I had a dream. I'm with Gary. I swear down. I'm hugging him. I'm crying. And I'm like, he's like, what's up with you? And I'm like, you're not dead. He's like, I'm dead, bro. I'm like, nah, you're not. And he's like, I am dead. And we're walking. And he's got a set of keys, and we're walking down this path, and there's a guy there. And this guy, I swear on my life, I'm not crazy. This guy, when I went to sleep, this guy in the dream, the guy's just watching us, and I'm looking for him. Who are you? So Gary's got the keys. I've gone, bro, if you're really dead and you're a spirit, you're a ghost, why are you using keys to get through that gate? Why don't you just float through the gate? That's what I did. I went, why don't you just float through? And I never forget, he turned around with a sad face and just went, it's all right, bro, I'm going back home. I'm going home to God. And he opened the gate, and some white light came, and I woke up, and I've gone, seen the jail cell, and I've gone, fuck, it really is. It's a dream. He really is dead. And then 4 weeks kept going by. They told me I can go to the funeral because, as you know, your mum, dad, brother, sister, kids died, you go to funerals. Paedophiles have gone, murderers, rapists have gone. The worst of the worst paedophiles and rapists. They're disgusting. They're not even human. They've gone to funerals. I'm in for drugs. I wasn't there with whatever happened. I was in a Cat D prison. That's the lowest form of prison you can get. The night before the funeral, so on the Thursday night, they said go to reception to try your funeral clothes. And when I've got there, the governor's there with 2 big security officers. They've gone, police have told us, can't let you go because of the fear of reprisal and got the safety of the officers, people at the funeral and yourself. I dropped to my knees and I was looking for the scissors. I was bawling. I just wanted to kill myself. I wanted to be with my brother. At that point, I wanted to be with my brother because I didn't know my life's going to turn out like this. All I knew is the person that loved me the most is gone. So they said, we'll take you to the chapel of rest. It's never been done before, but the police have sorted it so you can go. And when I got there and they took the chains off me and let me go to the in the room and see my brother in a casket. And my brother looked like a mixed race person. He was very light skinned. Bro, he was darker than your top because he was decomposing that much. And I just broke down. And obviously I tried to like hold his hand like one last brother handshake. And his hand was frozen stiff. I was there for 2 minutes. They take me back to jail. I had a panic attack. And all that did is made me want to kill whoever was responsible. But when I phoned my mum in the morning, mum, what you doing? She went, nothing. She went, I went, they won't let me come to the funeral. She went, they won't let your brothers come. She went, I've got to go now, son. They just brought Gary's body to me. It's downstairs. And the first time in my life I heard mum go, and she started crying, but she put the phone down and I thought, wow. So all this has come to this point where we ain't got no pension. We ain't millionaires. We ain't like living no life in Spain like you see in the movies. My best friend, my brother, my soulmate, my dad's dead. My mum's going to bury her firstborn son without none of her other sons to carry the casket. Oh, I felt lower than a drug addict, lower than poo in your shoes. And then I went to my cell, slammed the door, crying. I just said, God dropped to me. He said, God, please forgive my sins. Like, please accept my soul. Anything you want me to do or go through, I will. Because I've done it my way and look what happened. And then it took me like good 5-6 years to get out and change my whole life, my way of thinking and everything, and leave my friends and just become a better person.
Was that the reason you went on this positive path and left that
Yeah,
behind?
because it was not Gary to influence me. And then I had to find out what I like, because everything was geared to what does Gary like, what would make Gary proud. So when I got out, I'm like, and I get in a situation, what would Gary do? And I laughed, and then Gary knows this isn't respectful. I was like, yo, fuck Gary. What do I want to do? What does Matthew like? I didn't even know what I liked. So I had to go through rediscovering Matthew. Forget Skelly, Matthew. I apologised to my sons. I had my daughter. Worked a normal job, cleaning cars. I never forget the first day I've gone in the job and I'm in the staff room and everyone's having a normal conversation about direct. They're just normal life. And I'm angry and I'm getting tears in my eyes because I'm thinking, I can't interject into this conversation. I'm waiting for someone to talk about boxes of bud or some gang stuff, but they didn't. So I walked outside, I had tears in my eyes because I'm angry, like, yo, it was alien to me. And then cleaning the car and I'm singing Little Mix and everyone's like, are you sure you was a gang leader? I'm like, bro, do you know how normal I feel walking to work with my packed lunch and cleaning cars? And
did you feel good?
Yeah, I felt good. I felt normal.
Yeah.
And Satan will test you. God's my witness. When I got the job, the crackheads from the area were like, yo, D, you out? Because that was my selling name. Yo, D, you out? Do you want to get us rare for tomorrow morning? It was like a £200 order of heroin and crack. I could have phoned someone and just got like an 1/8 of each and just made a lot of profit. But I thought, no, Satan tested me. I'm on a path, and I didn't do it. And they're like, oh, D. I just went to work. I was only making 300 a week, but I felt so good. I see police, and then I'd look, and they're not looking at me because I'm no one no more. I'm not a gangster no more. And it took me a while, but I had to change my thinking. Didn't care what people thought. And also, I'm telling the truth, I come out of jail, I have no money. Remember when I started going to schools and talking, I had like a nice white T-shirt, I had a print on it, and the girl's gone, is that designer? Because she said my story. I went, no, it's Primark. She went, no, it's not. I went, yeah, it is. She was getting angry with me. No, it's not. Why are you lying? I went, come here. Oh, it's from Primark. I said, yeah, $450. I said, I can't afford designer gear. I said, I can go out and sell drugs, but the judge already told me next time you're getting double figures and no one's saying it's going to be the low end. Do I want to do that? And things like when I'm seeing man who were Muppets when I was in that life, now they're in big cars, they've got chains, they've got Rolexes, and at first you're like, yo, I've robbed you. And then you're just like, what are you doing that for? He's doing that. You can get what he's got the legal way, but it's just going to take you way longer. But it's all yours.
Do you ever worry like that? Because you've been involved in all that life, that you're on the straight and narrow, doing your own thing. You're a businessman. You're doing things the legit way, the proper way, the right way, mate.
Yeah.
You know. Do you ever worry that someone from your past might be jealous that they're stuck in that life, and we're going to think, well, you know what I mean?
I've had a few things when I first got out. People talking crap. I just left them. People might come to your face and talk crap, but they never put their hands on me. So you can say what you want because you want to goad me into do so. I'm going to go to jail. I'm going to lose everything that I'm building. You're still stuck in that dead life. So I've had to play smart and just walk away. As long as you don't put your hand on me, say what you want.
Do you still have that in your Skelly though? Like if it ever
touch my kids. Like if someone went out of the way and hurt my kids, intentionally hurt my kids, just like most real parents, oh, you're going to see me. You are going to see me.
But do you still get the same? I don't even mean, because I think anyone in the right mind, if your kids get touched, there's gonna be that's it. But like, do you still have that? Whereas like before, say maybe there was a deal or something that was happening, you maybe straight, I'm going to take the burn, I'm going to do this, da. Do you still have the ever urgency to like? Maybe it's handy to try and get a gun again, or no?
Nah, because I'm not in that life. I don't go around them people. If I see him, like when I'm going through Mossad, whatever, I can have a conversation because we all grew up.
Do you feel safe though?
I feel safe. I've got friends who are detectives, who are superintendents. So you touch me, I'm helping all these kids. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to do their job or do it extra better because I'm helping the community.
Yeah.
And as well, a lot of people are cowards. I don't associate with them. So just remember, it's like, imagine certain things I've done that I've not said. Are you going to want to trouble me? And I said, when I first got out, everyone knows I said it. Before my mum buries another kid and I hear my mum cry, I will whack at people in your family. I kick doors off and people know what I've done. So if you want to go down that route, just leave me the hell alone. Yeah. So people, I'm not the baddest man, but when it comes to family, I've turned my life around. But again, I don't just get a gun. I don't think if no one knows, because I made it clear, don't phone me with no proposition for money or anything. My company makes 6 figures a year. I'm happy. I employ someone, Michelle Gleeson. She's one of the best safeguards in the Northwest. I go to schools. I change lives around. I come from a session feeling great. I'm a coach of Moston Tigers. I coach another girls' team. My life's great. I go on like 5-7 holidays a year. I've just come back from Thailand.
Yeah, I've seen.
Me and my missus are going back next week. How many people can afford to do that? And it's not showing off. It's just that because I work hard and I put my money in proper things. So I don't worry about being safe. I'm with God. First and foremost, God can protect me more than a gun or more.
How do you still get to travel when you've had like gun offences and that?
Never had a gun offence.
Have you not really?
No, just drugs. Everything I've been caught for is drugs. I've been pulled in when they found a gun, but there's no DNA.
Yeah. So I just want to ask, you know the whole like the gangster thing? Like, is that, would your typical day, is that like, is it all drug beef and rep? Or is it like, let's just go and do a rob, we need some money, he's getting robbed?
None of it. When people say drug beef, it's not, oh, he's on my patch.
So what is being a gangster then? What is that like? Like, you wake up on a day, is it a case, how you make, you're selling drugs, you're doing this.
Yeah.
Is it a case of like, there's some money in that house, we're going to...
Yeah, or you see a man with a chain, you think, yo, I want that chain.
So you just rob
people. You just rob drug dealers. Because what am I robbing? If you're a normal person, what am I robbing you for? For number one, I see you as a scumbag and a coward. Why am I robbing you at a cash machine? What have you got that the drug dealers ain't got in their house? It's just going to mean that my man might come back for me. But to me, that's a gangster. I'm not robbing no civilians. Leave the civilians on the sidewalk. Where, as they say, roadmen. Let's be in the road. Let's leave the civilians on the side, on the pavement.
You'd always have that moral compass.
Yeah, my brother taught me. Like Gary taught me all this, and I look, and when you see it on the news, like nowadays, man are battering gal, killing the baby mothers and all that, like, and you think that's gangster. Ping gal, beating up people, smashing people's mums' head, and you think that's gangster. To me, that ain't gangster. That's a coward. Because how many men who beat up women and beat up the missus actually go and beat up gang members or beat up men who have robbed them or done something? They don't. I'm not saying some don't, because some do, but most of them just batter the women and act hard on the streets, but go home and batter the women. I've seen so many like that, and I just think they're the ones that need the key thrown away. The women beaters, the people who murder each other in a gang life. Yeah, you should go to jail for life, but it's just funny how the pedophiles and most rapes don't get past CPS stage. That's disgusting. It's
mental, that, like.
As well, are getting a year, 2 years, and they're going on special wings and getting new identities.
It's but mental. They're letting out on them.
That's what I mean. And they can't be cured, me and you can have real beef, and they're going to put me on the same wing with you.
Mental, that, like. When you did your last stretch, Skelly, was that, because obviously a bit more of a mature head, you've got the news from Gary. How did you find the sentence? I know you only had 18 months left, I think, when the news won it. But how did you find the sentence? I mean, I know you couldn't help, you can't not think about Gary, but the sentence itself, how were you going through that?
I was all right because Gary was out. As long as Gary was alive, it was all right. But when Gary died, I was crying here enough every day. Thank God for this woman called Jane Carr. She's like my second. She's like my mum now. I met her in jail. She's been with me every step of the way. So I had her to lean on, and I had other friends that I met that when I'm crying will come and put around me. Oh, your brother will want you like this, rare. But then Jane said the realest thing one day. I was proper upset, and she went, Matthew, I know you're upset, but you and your brother asked for this. Is part and parcel of it. So get your fucking head up and get on with it. And it hurt at first. What to say? Who you talking to? But when I went to my cell, I thought, you know what? She's right. Yeah, you can cry and be upset, but at some point you've got to not get over it, but get on with life, because this is what you signed up for.
2 more questions for you.
Yeah.
Do you have any relationship with your mum and dad now?
Dad, no. Won't care about him. If he died and I got a phone call, I wouldn't care. When he had a heart attack, don't care about him. My mum, I speak to her because she's my mum, and I'm respectful to her.
Have you ever tried to bury the hatchet? Like,
yeah. But she just does things to keep. Oh, I'm gonna come and cook for yours, but then don't. But then goes to my brothers. She don't mess with none of my sons or my daughter. But sees the other grandkids, and how does my daughter feel? So I'm protecting my daughter. So my daughter used to say, "Can you phone Nana?" And she'd come and cook mac and cheese. She don't do it no more. So I give my daughter everything, the love, and her mum does, so she doesn't need anything off my mum or anything and get let down like I did.
Final question. I think obviously we've just got to mention Gary again. Raise one for him, because obviously I know he's not condoning what he's done. He's killed someone. He's took a life, and there's victims, and it's you know, it's not fucking. It's horrendous. However, he was someone who impacted you. You've turned out to be a good bloke. Yeah, you're doing good things in the world, mate, and I appreciate that. I respect that.
Thank you.
If Gary walked in the door now, what would be the first thing you'd say to him?
Wow. I think I'll just jump up and give him the biggest hug and just say, you know, you're my soulmate. It'd probably be something like that. You know, I've missed you, or like, it's all been for you, or this is for you. Like, turning my life around is part of his not his legacy, but for him. Because,
and do you think he'd be proud of you now as well?
Yeah, I think he'd be proud, because he never, like I said, he never really wanted it for me. But at the same time, you want that protection of your little brother, who's like, it's only 2 years, so it's not like I'm 10 years younger. We're both kind of like similar ages, so Yeah, he wanted the best for me, but at the same time, he wanted to be protected because who wouldn't in that life? And no one's going to protect you more than your brother. Yeah, so the company, one message I run, I do it in his honour, in his name. And all the young people I turn around, I tell him, without my brother dying, I would never have been here. I would have been doing life in jail, or if God would have allowed me to, we might have made a bit of money and got out of that life. But statistically, you don't. So everyone that I save is because Gary died. The life I have now is because Gary died and sacrificed his life because he didn't want to go that night. Not many people know he didn't want to go. And I spoke to someone who knows him, and he said he knows he's going to die very shortly. This is a week before he died, but he doesn't care. God's with him. And when my brother said, "Jesus, what you coming?" He's like, "Nah." Then about a minute later, this is from my brothers. He jumped up and said, "Yo, so make sure you look after my kids. Make sure you look after mum." My brothers are like, "Now me, I would have clocked on, but they're way younger than him. He was preparing to leave, and then he died." So when I found out, and then obviously I got more spiritual, I thought, yeah, he's done that to protect his brothers, because all my other 3 brothers might have went and got stabbed and killed. And then what do you think me and Gary are going to do? We're going to go out and murder a load of people. Yeah. So this way, and someone said it to me, and it's not disrespectful. At first I was angry when God always leaves a stronger one. He went, and I looked at him and said, "What?" He went, "Not being disrespectful, Skelly, but if you would have died, G would have went and did a madness and went to hell. You're helping people. So this way," and Gary sacrificed his life, so that washes all your sins. And you're helping people, so it kind of worked out that in the best situation it could. And I thought, you know what, it's true that.
It's mind-blowing, that, mate.
And you've got to take the consequences, haven't you? You can't do all this, and I can't sit here and moan. And we did what we did. That was the end. That was the end consequence. How am I going to move on? Be mad and go and be a drug dealer? No. Help people, live a good life, and just be a positive person. And like I said, God can protect me better than any gun, any gang member can. So I walk with God always. I help people, and I don't put myself in predicaments like going clubs where gangsters. I don't even really go clubs. Like I say, I go on holidays and I have a drink out there, or I go out with my missus and have a drink, whatnot.
Does the buzz compare? Like, how do you get the same buzz?
Oh, the buzz for this is way better. When you go to a session and the young people are like, "Nah, you know what you're talking truth." You're having a proper deep dialogue with them, and they're like, "Do you know what?" And they're sharing, "Yeah, man chased me and it's not that life." And you got a mum, do you love your mum? Well, think about your mum. You get stabbed or killed, none of your boys are going to sit with your mum. And then you see them, they're like, "Do you know what? Thanks for that. I've never looked at it like that." Or when I done a session yesterday with the girls, and we're talking about don't let guys force themselves on you, don't let them rape you. And they're like, "Oh, he's cheated on me. I took him back." I'm like, you women run the world. You're stronger than those men in every way. And you're just giving them advice. And the 2 of them went, "I feel that you've humbled me." And I said, well, so I always ask, what have you took out of the session? That we're stronger than men, and I must have some self-respect and self-esteem, and it's not, any boy's not worth it. All they're going to do is stop me from going where what I get. That high. What, shooting someone don't give you a high. You're scared after that if the police are going to lock you up. Yeah, the little chases and that's adrenaline for a second. This is a day, a week high when I'm helping someone. People, like you're saying on the podcast, are sharing their pain with their brother or whatever. Knowing that you're just helping someone, and someone sat there typing back to you something you said and letting out their pain. Before that, who did they tell? So it's helping people just with words, and it's just a great feeling. I've never, ever stopped what I'm doing.
And honestly, I would encourage any of the viewers or listeners, because I've thoroughly enjoyed this podcast, mate, and I think you're like a beacon of light for a lot of people out there.
Thank you. I will reply to comments. I reply to every comment.
So if anyone's watching and listening to this, I want you to just, if you've got any pain that you're going through, anything that you've been through, anything similar to Skelly, or you're going down the wrong path in life or out like that, just drop it in the comments, and this man here will come back. And yeah.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure, brother.
Thank you, bro. It's appreciated, mate.
Thank you, brother.
Cheers, bro. So you've made it to the end of the episode. Fair play. If you want to watch more episodes like this, click here.